Before I get started with this video, my loves, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Ask Kirby. If you guys didn't know, Ask Kirby is basically this app where people come on here and speak on daily, everyday issues, gossip about regular things, and basically it's a good time to come on here to literally listen to people spew their guts out and basically talk that shit. And it's interesting because a lot of people come on here talking about regular daily life issues, and sometimes it's interesting because you can get like an interesting conversation. And the best part about this app is that it's anonymous. You can come on here, download it on Apple or Android, and it's basically free to just express yourself. Somebody commented, "Why don't black men stand up for or respect black women anymore? It's really sad how a lot of black men treat black women by just respecting our skin color, our hair, but go for a white girl." People should check out Ask Kirby and let me know what you guys think. You never know, I might be scrolling on there getting advice or asking for your advice.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin Choice and you're watching Troyce TV. Now today I really want to talk about the whole Destiny Harrison situation, and I'm very annoyed because this is my second time filming this because my dumbass forgot to turn on the fucking microphone and the whole video came out with no audio. But anyway, it's perfectly fine. There's always room for improvement. It's basically a whole situation where a young 21-year-old entrepreneur and hair salon owner basically was murdered in her own salon. Now, for those guys who don't know the story, basically, Destiny Harrison, for a lot of you to know, she's a very popular hair personality. She does hair. She was even popular in her high school in Baltimore when she did hair. She was the go-to person to basically get your hair done, and she's one of the most popular hairstylists in Baltimore right now. And basically, she's worked with some of the most biggest people. She's worked with the big hairstylist Cliff Vermeer. She's worked with many and countless reality stars like Shakana, and basically, this girl paved the whole lane for herself. She paved the whole lane for herself to the point where she built her brand from the ground up from when she graduated high school in 2017. And she also opened her own hair salon in her hood, Baltimore, called Madam D Beauty Bar. Her hair salon was mega popular. Everybody around her city came to get their hair done there. And basically, she was really living the life. She lived a very glamorous lifestyle at 21. She also has a 1-year-old daughter by her boyfriend. And basically, she was out here living the dream and trying to pave a way to make sure her and her daughter was straight.
In all reality, when I die, I want people to be like, she was a legend at that hair shit. And I want my daughter to be like, my mother was that on the head tip, period. I want to talk about you regardless, so just give me something to talk about for real.
She was one of 4 people murdered in the city during what has been an especially violent week.
WJZ is live outside Madam D Beauty Bar. Rachel Mentoff gives us a look at tonight's candlelight vigil. Rachel.
Max and Rachel, good evening. 21-year-old Destiny Harrison was working at her salon here behind us when someone walked inside and shot and killed her. And tonight you can see friends and family are out here. They've brought balloons and flowers and are lighting candles in her honor. Destiny Harrison is one of 4 people killed this weekend in the city of Baltimore, and in the last week there have been more than a dozen shootings. Baltimore could end the year with its highest per capita homicide rate on record. So far this year, the city has reached 338 homicides, which is 34 more killings than this time last year. Tonight, Destiny's family honored her life, her legacy, and her success as a business owner and a loving mother.
My daughter with me. She with me. She ain't going nowhere. Everybody keeps saying they're sorry for my loss, but I ain't lost nothing.
She was my first grandchild, and she gave me my first great-grandchild. So you know she was special to me.
The person or people responsible for Destiny's murder have not yet been found. Tonight, her mom asked that if anyone was inside the salon at the time of the shooting, that they please come forward and share that information with police. We're live in Southeast Baltimore tonight. I'm Rachel Mentoff for WJZ.
And basically, she was murdered in front of her daughter at her salon while everybody was in there. So if you guys didn't know, this is how the whole thing started. So back in December 9th, 21 days before her murder, because she died on December 21st, weeks before her murder, basically she had 2 people who were her neighbors who lived around the area where her salon was, and they basically picked the lock. They picked the lock to insert her shop through the back door. So after they enter the shop through the back door, they start putting a whole bunch of her bundles, her 100% human hair in buckets and bags, and they start snatching a whole bunch of $3,000 worth of hair. So while they're snatching shit, Destiny came in, confronted them, and was just like, what the fuck are y'all doing? As she confronted them and caught them in the act, she then ran over there to grab her shit back because, of course, she's a businesswoman and her product is her main priority. After she got her product, the people who were identified as Glenn and NEVAAA, the man basically held her down and the girl basically pulled her hair, kicked her, punched her, and then boom, they grabbed the shit and they were out. So after they robbed her ass and stole her shit, they literally basically ran off and she immediately called the police. After she called the police, she made a report, said who they were, she knew who they were, she knew their faces and everything, and they caught charges. They caught charges for theft and breaking and entering. So after they got charges, she said that she was scared for her life. Basically, she was nervous the whole time because this is her place of business. This isn't just some summer camp. This is where she literally makes her money. Now, long story short, somebody recently came in, December 21st, the day she got murdered, and basically walked right in while everybody was in there boldly and basically shot her in the head several times while her daughter was right there. So immediately after people heard gunshots, they immediately ran out the salon and basically left her and her daughter there. So after they left her and her daughter there, people called the police. It was confirmed that she was dead. So if you guys, before I get further into this video, I want to say that for her funeral costs, if you guys want to donate, the link in the description down below. If you guys want to donate to her GoFundMe, the goal was $10,000 and they've already made to $13,000. You know, Cliff, shout out to Cliff Vermeer, the famous hairstylist. He even shouted out. And I also want to point out how it's funny how she's not getting much news coverage. It's crazy because when I try to do more research on this, you know, only a few media outlets, like 5 to 8 media outlets, have pretty much covered this cover to cover. BT, The Shade Room, Fox, Baltimore, you know, so on and so forth, but not that many outlets have covered it. I even go on YouTube, and there's literally like 7 or 8 YouTube videos talking about it. You know, usually when a young black person dies, the whole world talks about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see it on CNN, you see it on The Shade, you see it pretty much everywhere. And The Shade Room did talk about it, but I don't see many people, you know, posting about it. And it's funny how these are the same celebrities who claim that they're pro-black and claim the whole, you know, we got to stop, you know, killing each other as a community. The same people who was posting Jesse Smollett, Juice WRLD, the same people who's posting Trayvon Martin, the same people who post any little black person that dies. You know, and it's crazy because I notice this now that we have to watch out for people who are pro-black but not pro-black women. You ever notice that? It's always a young black man or a young black boy dying before they ever post about a young black woman or a young black girl dying. It's crazy because there's so many young black girls who are missing due to sex trafficking, kidnapping, abduction, and more, and so on and so forth. And there's so many black girls who died at the hands of domestic violence and women in general, but no one really ever posts about it. And it's really infuriating that a lot of people aren't covering this story. And it's almost insane because as time goes on, a lot of people are going to forget about this and stop talking about it. So she couldn't spend Christmas with her daughter. New Year's is about to come up, and like now she's gone. And it's really awful and really fucked up and evil because it's insane how she's not getting the news coverage she deserves, but yet CNN and platforms like Fox will cover stupid-ass, corny-ass YouTube beauty guru drama like James Charles' pancake-faced ass and Tati's dirty senior citizen ass. And, you know, news outlets like CNN and People Magazine are ready to cover, you know, small little drama like Patrick Starr's ham hock built ass wearing a 4C wig, but no one ever cares or says anything when a young black girl is missing or abducted or the missing people who go to the Dominican Republic. But anyways, so if you guys didn't know, we all find out as this case goes along that prior to her getting murdered, prior to Destiny getting murdered, we found out that there was a trial awaiting. There was a whole basically trial awaiting and coming up in January 2020 because, of course, you know, when you do call the police and you do, you know, file charges on somebody, you do have to follow through. It's a long process to where you could really get the charges pushed. If you don't pursue the charges, then you don't get your money back and you don't get to sue. Long story short. So, you know, she had to pursue this trial, and maybe they killed her because they wanted to silence her. But you know, it's insane, and I really want to use her story as a way to exercise the idea that everybody needs to be be mindful that sometimes you can't get back to the hood, because she opened up a whole beauty salon so that everybody in her hood can get their hair done for an affordable price. You know, she opened up a whole salon where everybody can come in, be peaceful, and she was trying to literally make a legacy for herself so that her and her daughter could be straight. You know, she was chasing her dreams. She got her license in cosmetology at 18. You know, she was really trying to do big things, and she was already doing big things, and then some bitter ass people decided, oh, you know what? I see a young I see some black girl magic. I see a young black girl thriving. I'm gonna come up in there and I'm gonna just steal some shit. But it's funny how no one ever does this to the little Korean restaurants. It's crazy because Asian restaurants get robbed all the time. Asian people get robbed all the time. But them motherfuckers are strapped, so nobody ever dares to come in that motherfucker. But it's funny how people are so quick to do it to a young black business. And it's insane how a lot of us are so ready to drag each other down. And I was just talking to my friend about this whole crabs in a bucket mentality that a lot of people in the black community have. It's crazy because, let me just make something very clear before I go on with the story. A lot of people have the mindset of, we got to go back to the hood, we got to give to our hood, so on and so forth. You know, a lot of people have the mentality of, we got to, instead of moving to these white neighborhoods and these gentrified neighborhoods, we should give back to the neighborhood we grew up around. And let me tell you something, I grew up in a very rough part of town, and I can wholeheartedly say from the bottom of my heart, fuck everybody from my hood. I don't care to go back there. That shit was terrible. It was an awful experience. Let me tell you something. Stuff like this and the situation happened with Nipsey Hussle where he died in his own hood. He was taking pictures with his own fans, opened a whole store in his own hood, and then got killed by someone in his own hood. This situation with Destiny where she's literally getting murdered in her own hood by people who look like her. Let me tell you something. See, white people don't even got to worry about killing us no more because we've been doing this to ourselves since the beginning of time, since the beginning of slavery and oppression. But anywho, I really want to say that I full-heartedly would never ever go back to my hood. Ever, 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 ever. I don't care to give out toys, turkeys. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going back to the hood. And as fucked up and cruel as that sounds, I don't care to go back because it was so rough there. Where times where like I would literally be walking home from school and I would literally be terrified. Like I would literally be leaving my house in the hood and I'd be fucking terrified like growing up that I'm gonna get fucking abducted. Like I'd be terrified that motherfuckers gonna run up on me. Like I've had incidents where I'm walking home from school and I've had some hood niggas run up on me, steal my shit, jack my shit, and it's just like, you know, why would I want to go back there? I'm like a very firm believer in if you can make it out the hood and you can save enough money to get the fuck out, stay the fuck out. Because there's a lot of miserable ass bitches who are gonna see you thriving and doing well. Oh, you're going to school or you're going to college? Okay, great. Go out of state. Go far away. Those y'all who are in high school, those y'all who are in school, go out of state. Go far away. If you don't go out of state, go further away from your city if you grew up in a rough area. Because there are some haters out there who are ready to tear you down. There are people out there who are going to see you and be like, oh, damn, how the fuck this person make it out? Or how the fuck is this person thriving and making money? Or how you get that good job with that high-ass wage? How you get that high wage and not me? How am I stuck working at this fast food place? Or how am I stuck smoking weed all day on my mama's porch? You know what? Fuck that. We're going to ruin your life. Because a lot of people in the black community have this crabs in the bucket mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to help each other. People don't want to thrive with one another. Instead, people that they grew up with, they want to just be like, you know what? We gonna tear this person down. So, orange in my eye. But anyways, people want to be like, oh, we gonna tear this person down. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's just so obsessed with tearing each other down, especially people who live in your city, in your neighborhood, to where it's like, they don't want to see you thrive. They don't want to see you thrive specifically because everybody has the mindset of, oh, why her? Or why him? Or how he get the scholarship? How he get the full ride? Or, oh, how she got that high-ass wage? Why her? Or how she make more money, or how she got the nice shoes. Why her? Why not me? And watch out for the people who love to say, oh, I see you got a little car now. Oh, I see you got a little, little job now with a high wage. Or I see you got a little apartment now. Or I see you got a little so-and-so. Watch out for people who say shit like that. Because those are the people who are the biggest fucking haters on the fucking planet. Because people from your city are the main people who do that shit. And that's why people leave the hood. That's why I encourage anyone that leaves the hood. Look at 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine is doing a whole other 11 months in jail. Specifically because he wanted to stay in the hood. He wanted to stay in the hood around motherfuckers who didn't give a shit about him, wanted to use him for money, and then boom, wanted to plot on his ass. So 6ix9ine could have literally took his money, moved his family to Beverly Hills, started a whole new life, stayed out of trouble, and enjoyed his blessings. And now look at 6ix9ine. By the time he get out, his career is going to be in shambles. He's going to be clowned by the internet. I'm sure he don't even know how he's going to fucking jump off or come back. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I'm just like, why would you want to stay in a city that puts you through so much trauma and stress. It's annoying as fuck because living in the hood is not fun. I never liked living in the hood, and I think it's funny as fuck whenever I see rappers love to say they're from the hood. And it's crazy because a lot of people who aren't even from the hood love to say that they are from the hood, even though they've lived 20 miles away from the hood. They lived in the fucking suburbs, but just because they live 20 miles away from the hood, they want to live in the hood. Living in the fucking hood ain't fun. Living in the hood ain't fun. It might have its goods, it might have its bads, it might have its affordable restaurants, it might have its amazing ice cream stops, it might have a lot of cool things that you were raised on. But the hood, living there is not fun. Living there, knowing that people are getting kidnapped, raped, stabbed, killed, and assaulted, yeah, no, that shit ain't fun, and I don't see why people want to stay in the hood. It's weird to me, and I don't want to stay in the hood because I just see it like this. I'm like, why would I want to be around a whole bunch of motherfuckers who are trying to kill each other? It's one of those things where I think you should literally pack your shit and get the fuck out and get the fuck away from those people and let them kill each other. And this mentality is a curse of the black community, where a lot of times we don't even care to uplift one another, support each other's businesses, so on and so forth. It's legitimately a curse. Nobody wants to see somebody who's just as oppressed as their ass living the life. People out here are literally hating on you, trashing your name, wishing bad energy on you. Some of them be your own family. Some of them motherfuckers be the people who you went to high school with, trashing your name, talking shit about you. And meanwhile, these people have no fucking hustle, no grind, or they damn kids ain't shit, and they damn kids are bums. So this situation with Jennifer Harrison is the perfect example of why the black community is cursed. Because this ain't the first time this shit has happened before. This has happened several times where motherfuckers come back to the hood, they get robbed, they shit snatched, they get beat the fuck up. People try to fight them, kill them, find out where they are. That's why I don't care to go back to the hood. You know, it's funny because the same thing actually happened to Lala Brown. Y'all remember that R&B singer Lala Brown? Where basically she literally lived in her hood, she made it big, and then boom, she stayed in the hood. She didn't have much money, so she literally stayed in the hood with her son and her family, and then boom, she was murdered. Now, if y'all remember Lala Brown was this R&B singer from the early 2000s. Some of you guys remember her song SEX with Life Jennings. Yeah, a lot of y'all probably don't know this, but she actually was murdered over 10 years ago. Now, let me tell you the story. I plan on doing a whole video about this because her murder is something else. It's a whole mystery, and they still haven't found the person that killed her. But basically, the R&B singer Lala Brown was basically killed in her studio because after she made it big, she wasn't really making much money afterwards after her buzz had died down. So she stayed in the hood of Milwaukee. So after she stayed in her hood in Milwaukee, literally, she was living in her studio because her boyfriend had owned the studio. And basically, there was a bed there, and they made their entire home because they were, trying to make more hits, trying to make more music, trying to build their careers from the ground up. And literally, someone had robbed them weeks prior for $2,000 worth of production equipment, and then boom, when they snitched and reported it, they ended up dying 3 weeks later. They died weeks later specifically because the person who they snitched on probably got upset. So whoever they snitched on probably got so upset that they sent somebody over there to basically have her murdered. And they found her bed. They found her and her boyfriend Kool-Aid literally dead, like in their bed, dead, dripping in blood, dead in their bed. And it's just like, damn, like this is crazy. Like she lived in the hood, made it big. She was making money. She was taking care of her family, and she was trying to build something for herself. And then people trying to tear her down. A lot of us in high school, y'all probably even noticed that a lot of the boys in high school, they take their scholarships seriously. Like a lot of the boys who are hood niggas but are also athletes, they take that shit very seriously. Because a lot of times scholarships, making out the hood, getting drafted, going to college is their only hope. It's their only hope to get out the hood. Because not everybody can afford to get out the hood, but it's honestly possible for anybody to get a scholarship and move the fuck out their hood and put their family in a nicer home. It's literally easy for anyone to pursue higher learning and get a better education. They're quick to apply to schools out of state. They would never apply to schools in state a lot of times because they don't want to be around that nonsense. They don't want to be around that bullshit because they actually want to get out. Because if they don't get out, they're going to be leaving in a body bag. They're going to be leaving under the ground. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where I don't believe in going back to the hood. I think people should just let I'm a firm believer in, look, let the white people come through, let them gentrify the fuck out of the hood, and, let it be that. Even in, where I grew up, things are a little bit gentrified now. A lot of white people done moved in. There's plazas now, there's shopping centers, there's a Sonic, there's a McDonald's, and every time I drive by, I'm just like, what the fuck? Whoa. They done rebuilt the school. They done built new fences and shit because of gentrification. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with gentrification. It's basically when white people come through and they buy property and they basically clean everything up and they raise the rent, and all the ratchet people basically move the fuck out so white people can move the fuck in because they're the only ones who can afford the rent. It's just like, you know, she didn't have to open her restaurant in the hood. She could have easily went to Beverly Hills, Texas, and I'm not blaming her for opening her restaurant. I'm simply bringing up the simple fact that she literally bought opportunity. She tried to buy property. She bought wealth into her hood, and people try to ruin it. They didn't go to a little Korean restaurant. They didn't go to a little Korean hair salon. It's crazy because the same people who want to rob this girl, mistreat this girl, lowball her, not pay her a price, they wouldn't dare do this to the little Asians who own the salons. They wouldn't do this to the little Asians that own the nail salon. They wouldn't do this to the Asians that own the beauty supply stores. Because if y'all look around, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the beauty supply stores that y'all go to, a lot of times they're owned by Asians. They're owned by Asians or they're owned by Indians. And a lot of the Asians and Indians who own these hair salons and these hair companies, a lot of them don't even like people who look like me or you, specifically because they simply love your money. They just don't love the people who come with the money. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times when you go to a little beauty supply store, you see that the Asian lady don't want to make eye contact with you. She's folding shit, don't care to talk to you. She's pointing you to where you can get your shit because they don't like you, but they want your money. They're like, oh, yeah. Oh, $200? Oh, thank you. Have a nice day. That's literally how it is. And I'm saying this specifically because a lot of people just love to tear down their own people. And it's funny how Asians don't do this to each other and the Indians don't do this to each other. Because you ever notice how whenever you go to an Indian restaurant or you go to an Asian restaurant or Asian beauty supply store or Asian or Indian gas station, a lot of times they hire their own, they employ their own, and they uplift their own so that their own can have a chance. But black people don't have that same luxury. If I go into a restaurant that's owned by black people, I don't think, oh yeah, you know, when I used to like apply for jobs, I don't think, oh yeah, you know, they're gonna hire me. You know, I see people who look like me work there. You know, people who look like me own the restaurant. They don't give a fuck to hire me. They'd hire little Becky. They'd hire little Johnny, but they won't fucking hire me, or they won't hire a nigga named Beckford with dreads. They're not going to hire anybody else. Because it's crazy how our own people, a lot of times, it's not always a good thing when they're on top. When I go to a black-owned restaurant, when I was applying for jobs when I was in high school and it was a black-owned restaurant, I didn't think, oh yeah, they're going to hire me because I know they, you know, want to uplift and put other black people on. Nope. When I see a police officer come by, when I see some shit going down, and I see a black police officer coming forward, I'm like, whatever, they all the same. Because I'm a firm believer in just because a black person is a person of power, that's not always a good thing. Just because somebody's black, that doesn't mean they're for us. Y'all remember A$AP Rocky? A$AP Rocky literally fucking went around saying how he don't give a damn about what happened with Eric Garner. He don't give a fuck about what happened in that city that he was killed in because he don't live there and he's too busy living in Beverly Hills and Soho fucking and clapping bitches, and people still want to fucking give him a pass and fucking literally say that it's not that deep. He doesn't have to be an activist, and although he makes good music, people still try to find somebody to excuse his behavior. So you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where sometimes your people will be the main ones who want to tear you down and kill you, and that's what happened with Destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really fucked up how she wanted to bring wealth and buy property in the hood, but people who wanted to rob her, steal her shit, lowball her, and basically try to silence her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really fucked up. And it's really sad that she left behind a 1-year-old daughter, a beautiful 1-year-old daughter who's not going to see her mom grow up. And she was only 21-year-old dying. I couldn't imagine being 21 and not being around anymore. I couldn't imagine someone that I know or care about being 21 and not being around anymore. 21 is such a young age to just pass away, and she passed away simply because she was winning. Because if she were just another black girl on Instagram who had a platform, or who had followers, who had a hair company and a hairpin, if she was just another black girl with 400 followers with a hair company who did hair at her homegirl Sade house or her mama house, they wouldn't have cared to go on her shit and rob her because there's so many people doing the same thing. But because this girl opened up a salon and she bought wealth into the hood, they were like, oh, you know what, she right there, you know, she our neighbor, you know, we don't care, we gonna come through and rob her. And these people were identified as Glenn and NEVAAA, I think that's her name. Glenn and NEVAAA are identified as the people who basically robbed her ass because, you know, the hood talks. And basically, you know, now they're being investigated. I'm sure they're being investigated because it's funny how 3 weeks prior to her, you know, getting robbed by them, now all of a sudden, you know, she passes away last week. So seeing all this go down just proves to me that me having the mentality of not going back to my hood, because people have told me, why don't you want to go back to your hood? Why don't you want to, do shit for what? For what? What have they done for me? What have they done for me? They ain't do nothing for me but trigger my anxiety or trigger my paranoia. Because like I said, every time I leave my fucking house now, even as an adult, I think I'm going to be fucking abducted because of the shit that I had to go through living in the hood. Being nervous as fuck. Literally leaving the house late at night to go throw out the trash. I'd be scared as fuck looking over my shoulder like... Literally... That's literally me, because I was nervous as fuck that somebody was going to come up who had nothing to lose or ready to fucking assault me, ready to try to fucking abduct me or do some shit to me. So, I'm a firm believer in sometimes your hood is the bucket and every single person that looks like you is the crab, and they're ready to tear you down. Because if you ever seen crabs in the bucket, they're ready to grab you down. They're ready to grab you down because they don't want you making it out. Because a lot of times people who look like me and look like you and are black, a lot of times they have the mentality of, oh, why her? Why her? Why not? I was talking to my friend about this too. We were just like, we had this, we were talking about this, where how most of the people who have like malicious intent and just want to be mean and ruthless for no reason and drag you for no reason without justification. We were talking about this, how most of she's also a YouTuber and we the same age, and she was telling me how it's funny how most of her haters and most of the backlash she gets is from people who look like her and are not from other black girls that look like her. And to her, she was telling me how fucking heartbreaking and annoying that was, because it's literally us being crabs in a bucket and tearing each other down. We're not uplifting each other because we all have the mindset of why her, why him, why them, and why not me. And it's sad. And, seeing this whole situation with Destiny and seeing the fact that she's not getting much news coverage, or how celebrities love to repost celebrities. I notice this a lot. Whenever a celebrity or a black man dies at the hands of a white person, everybody is up in arms. When a little whitey kills a black person, everybody's up in arms. And when I say this with good intention. Pay attention to whenever a black man dies at the hands of a white person. Notice how quickly the media gravitates towards it and promotes it. Because to them it's like, oh, black outrage gets the most attention. Black outrage gets the most views. But it's funny how when black people kill each other, they have nothing to say. Because to them it's, oh, they kill each other all the time. It's not worth it. And it's crazy that even amongst black people, where I find it funny how... whenever another black man from the hood kills another black man from the hood, people say, R.I.P., we guys are killing each other. But when a white person does it, oh my god, protest, picket signs, fire torches, we're going to fuck this shit up. They want to start riots, they want to scream, yell, no justice, no peace. They got all this energy when a white person does it, and to them it's always racism. But they never ever have this energy to protest when a black person kills another black person. They never have this energy. That's why I'm a firm believer in that when it comes to activism, I have to side-eye certain black people, because I gotta side-eye certain people's intentions who protest their outrage whenever a white person kills a black person, but never have the same energy when another person who's black does it to another person that's black. You gotta keep the same energy here. So yeah, it's funny how a lot of people never keep the same energy, and it's funny how a lot of people never really post a young black girl being done wrong or killed, ever. It's always the black boy, the black man that gets killed by the cop, or the black man that gets killed by his white neighbor. But when the young black girl gets killed by another hating ass jealous motherfucker, no one has anything to say. And this has happened several times, and it's crazy because the same Koreans and the same fashion Korean restaurants and the same Hispanic or the same Asian restaurants a lot of y'all want to support, they don't even like y'all. They just like y'all money. They're in there strapped, packing, ready for y'all to rob something, staring at you, making sure you don't do nothing, not making eye contact with you, not greeting you at all. But they're so ready to take your money. And it's crazy how y'all would have never thought, these same people would have never thought to walk into an Asian establishment. So yeah, like I said, if you guys want to support her, GoFundMe, link in the description down below. So all my young aspiring entrepreneurs out there that are of color, please be very mindful that if you live in the hood, get the fuck out right now, because those people who claim to be your friend are the same people who will leak your address, are the same people who tell your business, are the same people who don't even give a fuck to see you make it out, the same people who don't clap for you, the same people who have your number but will never text you, congratulations, or I'm proud you got your degree, or congratulations on graduating, or congratulations for everything that you're doing. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, wow, you got a good job with a good raise. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. You deserve it. More people that look like us should be on. Can you pay attention to those people who don't do that but have your number, but are so ready to call you when they need a when they need a ride? They're so ready to call you when they need some money. They're so ready to call you when they need a favor. They're so ready to call you when they need a buddy to hang out with, to go to a party with. They're so ready to call you when they need you to split an Airbnb with them for a fucking trip. Pay attention to that. So yeah, get the fuck out the hood. Wait for it to be gentrified. That just because somebody looks like you and they're of power, that doesn't mean they're really for you. Look at Kanye. We thought Kanye was for us. You remember his song All Falls Down? You remember when Kanye talked about how, George W. Bush don't care about blacks? You remember how he said that he loves his people and how we should uplift each other? Look at him now. The CASHAPP meeting Trump and shit in the White House, saying that he loves Trump because Trump is so outspoken. The CASHAPP. That's that for this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. My podcast is coming soon. I'm working very hard on it. Please stay tuned for when I announce the name. Subscribe to my main channel. Subscribe to my second channel, And y'all, please do me a favor and click that car marshal link. I would really appreciate it, because that's how the bills get paid. Click that car marshal link. I get paid per click. And make sure y'all stay on the site for a little bit, search for a deal. Make it your go-to if you know someone that's looking for a car, because that's how it gets paid. So click that link. I really appreciate it, because y'all know YouTube is going downhill and this video is probably demonetized. And if you made this far in this video, please be sure to let me know and comment I made it to the end. And please be sure to comment what to talk about next. And yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch. Now I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. Mama, it keeps me warm, it keeps me warm, it keeps me warm, it keeps me warm. I can't change, 'cause I don't know the lyrics. So I'm just tryna wing it, 'cause this is my only favorite part. So please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And let me know what song I should sing next, because I'm done. Okay, yeah.